are you? I sent Dragan to Kruševac with specific orders. Specific. I used the word command. I said under no circumstances is my wife to... You rode for 3 days. Look at you. Your hands are shaking. Your lips are cracked. You're covered in... Is that mud or blood? Mud. Hvala Bogu. It's mud. Dođi ovdje. Come here. Sit. No, here by the light. Let me see your face properly. You defied the direct military order. You know that? If one of my men did this, I'd have him flogged. If Dragan did this, I'd probably thank him, honestly. That old bastard. He let you come, didn't he? Drink. Slowly. It's the Shumadia one. Dragan brought it for celebrating the victory. I've been drinking it alone, which tells you everything you need to know about my expectations for tomorrow. Hear that? The psalm singers have been going since sundown. Some of the men are praying. Some are confessing sins they've been carrying for 20 years. Some are writing letters to women who'll never read them because they can't write the address properly. And some of them are doing what soldiers always do on their last night. Getting drunk, getting into fights, getting into each other's bedrolls. The usual human nonsense. And I have been sitting in this tent with a quill and a blank page, trying to write you a letter. For 4 hours. 4 hours, Mila. And all I've written is your name. Because there is no letter. There are no words good enough. I've read Ovid and the Psalms and the Song of Solomon, and none of them come close to what I need to say to you, and I am not a man who is short on words. So you came because you knew. You always know. You are the most infuriating, disobedient, magnificent woman in Serbia. And I'm so glad you're here. I could weep. Do you know what's out there? Beyond those fires? 60,000 Ottoman soldiers. Maybe 70. Sultan Murad brought everything. Janissaries, Sipahi cavalry, the elite guard. Men who've been conquering their way across the world since before you and I were born. They'll form here in the morning along the river. The cavalry on the wings. The Janissaries in the center, behind the wall of archers who can darken the sky with arrows. I've seen what Ottomans' their arrows do to a line of men. It's... You don't need to hear that. What you need to hear is this. Prince Lazar called every lord in Serbia, every voivoda, every knight, every man with a sword and a horse and enough blood in him to answer. And we came. Vuk Branković from the south, the Mrnjavčević brothers from the west, me from your father's table, technically. He still hasn't forgiven me for that, has he? But it's not enough. I've counted our numbers, I've counted theirs. I've played it out on the board 6 different waves, and in 5 of them, well, Lazar gave us a choice. He stood in front of every commander in Serbia with his cross in his hand, and he said, "You may choose the earthly kingdom, life, comfort, submissions to the Turk. Or you may choose Carstvo Nebesko, the heavenly kingdom, glory, God, martyrdom." Do you know what every man in that room said, Mila? Every single one. Heaven. They chose heaven. Without hesitation, like it was obvious. And I said it too. Because what else do you say? You're standing in a room full of men you respect, and your prince is asking you to die for God and country, and the correct answer is yes, Knieże. Of course, the heavenly kingdom always. I lied. I don't want the heavenly kingdom. I want you. I want Tuesday mornings and bad coffee and your cold feet on my legs in the winter. I want to grow old. I want to watch your hair turn gray. I want to be the kind of boring, ordinary man who lies in his bed with his wife's hands in his and grandchildren outside arguing about the inheritance. That's my heaven. That's my Carstvo Nebesko. And tomorrow I have to ride out there and pretend it isn't. I need to say something, and I need you to let me finish. Because if you touch my face right now, I will fall apart. And there is an army outside this tent that needs me not to fall apart. I am afraid. Not of the sort I've been cut before. I know what it feels like. It's cold and it's hot and nothing. That's manageable. That's just the body doing what it does. I'm afraid of not existing. Of the world continuing without me in it. Of you, Mila, sitting at our table in Kruševac, eating breakfast alone. Of my chair being empty. Of my side of the bed going cold. That's what keeps a man awake. Not the dying. The absence. Bože moj. Your hands smell like horse and rain. That shouldn't make me want to cry, but it does, because it's the most real thing I've touched in 3 months. Don't cry. If you cry, Mila, I swear to God, you're crying. Of course you are. When have you ever done what I've asked? Come. I want to show you something. My mother gave me this the morning I rode out. She pressed it into my hand at the gate and said, "Bring it back." Not come back, bring it back. As if the icon mattered more than the sun. That's how she says I love you. Through objects, through tasks. Bring it back means don't you dare die. It's Saint Stefan. See the face? Half the gold is worn off this corner where she rubbed her thumb when she prayed. 20 years of thumbprints. You can feel the groove. Here, feel it. That dip in the paint, that's 10,000 prayers, that's my mother. Every morning before dawn, on her knees on a stone floor, asking God to keep her son alive, while I was there learning to kill people. Dragan says God doesn't live in paintings. Dragan also eats with his sword hand and sleeps in his boots, so I'll take his theology with a certain flexibility. God lives wherever someone has worn the gold off a thing with their grief. That's what I believe. She told me something when I was 12. I just come home from my first sword lesson with blood on my tunic. Not mine, the other boys. And I was proud, strutting like my father. And she took me aside and said, Nicola, the world will ask you to be hard. Be hard, you must. But keep one room in your chest that is soft. Lock it. Put everything precious in that room and give the key to someone you trust. Not someone who deserves it, someone who will guard it with their life. You have the key. You have always had the key. Before the wedding, before the proposal, before I even knew what I was giving you, you had it. You walked into your father's hall with wine on your dress and opinions about poetry, and I thought, oh, there she is. The one who gets the key. After tomorrow, whatever happens on that field, that room is yours. That door doesn't close. Even if they put this body into the ground, that room stays open, stays lit, stays warm, because you're in it. Do you understand? Don't argue. I know that face, the one where your jaw goes tight and your eyes get dangerous and you want to tell me I'm being dramatic. You're right, I am, but I'm also right, and that makes you furious. And I've always loved you most when you're furious. Furious women survive, Mila. That's what my mother did. Be furious, it's better than grief. Do you remember the night we met? Your father's name day feast. You had red wine on your dress, the left side, here. And you didn't care. Every other woman in that hall was trying to impress someone, and you were arguing with a bishop about whether David was a better king than Solomon. You were wrong, by the way. Solomon was clearly superior by the way you argued. I was finished. I was done. My captain saw my face and said, "You look like you've been shot with an arrow, Nicola." And I said, "I think I have." And then, our wedding night. You were shaking. And I, this great voivoda who has conquered fortresses, I had rehearsed what I was going to say. I had actual notes, Mila, written on my hand like a schoolboy. Be gentle, be patient, ask if she's comfortable. And you looked at me and said, "Nicola, stop treating me like I'm made of glass or I'll go sleep with the horses." And you weren't shaking because you were afraid. You were shaking because you wanted me. And no one had ever wanted me like that. Not the commander, not the name. Me. The man underneath all of it. The one who reads too much and prays too hard and still has nightmares about the first man he killed. You're shaking again. Duszo moja. I'm so tired of talking about death. I don't want to talk about Lazar. I don't want to talk about Murad or the Ottomans or the Heavenly Kingdom or any of it. I have been talking about death for 3 months and I am finished. I want to talk about life, about your skin under my hands, about the sound you make when I kiss that spot behind your ear that you pretend it doesn't affect you. I want you. Not the way I wanted you on our wedding night, nervous and careful, full of notes on my hand. I want you the way a man wants his wife when he thinks tomorrow might be the last day he has hands to touch her with. The way a man wants a water in the desert. The way a man wants God when the arrows are falling. Tell me to stop and I'll stop. I'll sit here and hold your hand until dawn, and I will not ask for anything more. I swear it on my mother's icon. Hvala Bogu. There is no war in this tent. There are no armies, no field of blackbirds, no heavenly kingdom. There is just this mouth and this skin and you, Mila. You, the only country I have ever wanted to die for.